Goblin Bat. Once upon a time, brothers lived in a village. His younger brother was often praised by people in the neighborhood as a kind-hearted person, who was dutiful to his parents and respectful of his elders. On the other hand, his older brother was extremely greedy for good things, and was a mean-spirited person who annoyed his parents. One time, my brother went to the forest to cut wood. And because it was hot, he was resting for a while in the shade of a hazel tree. A hazelnut fell from the tree, and seeing that it was ripe, he decided to be the first to deliver it to his father and took one. After that, when a few more ran out, I decided to deliver the rest to my mother and brother and sister-in-law, and took them as well. I also took my share as a bonus and was about to go home, but the night was deep, and my brother, who had lost his way in the dark, entered a house. The house was empty, with no one in it, and it was so shabby that it looked like it might collapse at any moment, and was so dirty that it was covered in cobwebs. He was resting in the house for a while and was startled when he saw goblins coming. So he quickly climbed up the beam and hid himself. Then, in the house, the goblins used gold and silver bats to serve a lot of delicious food, and then had fun playing music and singing songs. My younger brother, who was hungry after seeing the delicious food, bit into a hazelnut. The sound was so loud that the goblins thought it was the sound of a house that was so old and dirty that it was about to collapse. So they quickly ran away without even looking back before they were crushed to death. In the process, the goblins were so distracted that they left all their bats behind. And the younger brother who came down from the beam became a fortune through the bat. Meanwhile, after hearing this rumor, the older brother came to visit him a few days later, and asked how he became so rich. After hearing the whole story, the older brother also went to the place where the younger brother was staying, and found a lot of hazelnuts by his brother's side as well. However, unlike his younger brother, who took care of his superiors first, the older brother showed no order in taking care of his own share first. Then, he went to the house where his younger brother stayed and waited with his neck craned for the goblins to come quickly. Finally, when night fell, the goblins appeared, and my brother quickly climbed up onto the beam. Just like a few days ago, the goblins had fun making food come out with bats, playing musical instruments, and singing songs. After a while, the older brother bit into a hazelnut like the younger brother. However, goblins do not fool themselves twice, so when they heard the sound, they pulled my brother out of the beam, and threatened him to quickly hand over their stolen bat. My brother said he was not the one and begged for forgiveness. But it was no use. In the end, the older brother, who was scolded by angry goblins all night long with a bat, returned home dead. Realized that he had been foolish all along, begged for forgiveness from his younger brother, reformed himself, became a good person, and ended up living happily together.